What's up, beautiful people? Today we're going to be checking out a video with a lot of concerning details. This one is titled Putin and China now know exactly what the US is planning, and this is a hot war. I'll repeat myself. Putin and China now know exactly what the US is planning, and this is a hot war. Let's get to it.
Over the past 48 hours, we just entered the most dangerous phase of the coming hot war with Russia and China, and no one is prepared for what's coming. Everyone but a few smart people are actually ignoring it. The media would rather distract you with new COVID variants and masking concerns at your children's school.
COVID cases are on the rise across the nation and in our area, which means something many of us thought we'd seen the last of is back. Businesses, hospitals, even colleges, including one in our area, reinstating mask mandates.
Yeah, those are important stories, but they're missing the most important story in the world, and they're all ignoring it right now. Look at Drudge today, for crying out loud. Look at CNN, top story about Burning Man. What about Fox News? Nope, it's all about DeSantis. But don't fall for it. It's all a misdirection. Look over here while President Biden is caught taking millions of dollars from foreign companies. Look over here while Americans are losing their jobs. And new data this morning shows 61% of Americans are now living paycheck to paycheck. Credit card debt, the highest it's ever been. And inflation is going to run hot for years. And new data out on Friday shows unemployment shot up. Experts finally saying the wheels are finally coming off this labor market. Expect many big companies to start laying off a lot of people. And let me know in the comments below if you know anyone who's already been facing layoffs. They are coming. So what's a good way to distract from a crumbling economy if you're President Biden heading into an election season? Start a war with Russia. Wag the dog. Did you ask for a war with Russia? No, neither did I. But you're about to get one. And my friend Tucker Carlson just exposed the entire plan.
So once you start indicting your political opponents, you know that you have to win or else they're going to indict you if they win, right?
Right.
And so they can't lose. They will do anything to win. So how do they do that? They're not going to do COVID again. I know everyone on the right's afraid they're going to do COVID and mask mandate. They're not going to do that. They can't do that. If they've already been exposed, that won't work. There's going to be, no, what are they going to do? They're going to go to war with Russia. That's what they're going to do. There will be a hot war between the United States and Russia in the next year. And
really?
In the next
yes,
year.
of course. They want it anyway.
A hot war with Russia. Remember, we're at war with Russia already, but we're doing it through a proxy, using Ukrainians to fight the war, sending them billions of dollars in weapons. More than 400,000 Ukrainians are now dead. More than 2.5 million are permanently disabled. So we're using Ukraine until we can't use them anymore. When all of their men are dead, then we'll have to send our own troops. And it's all part of the plan, which Congressman Adam Schiff explained. We fight Russia over there so we don't have to fight them here in Washington, D.C.
The United States aids Ukraine and her people so that we can fight Russia over there and we don't have to fight Russia here.
Now, Tucker only exposed one big piece of this plan, which is the Russian piece. The other piece is the economic side, which we'll get into in a second. But first, on the Russian side, something happened this week that almost no one covered. We covered it on our show, but it was radio silence in most of the mainstream media. The Biden administration quietly laying out a plan to make it impossible for any future president to keep us out of a hot war with Russia. By the way, Russia has already said that this will lead to direct war with their military, and China is standing by, ready to jump in. So according to the Wall Street Journal, what the Biden administration did is astonishing. They introduced a plan to permanently fund Ukraine's proxy war against Russia, and the structure would make it impossible for a future president to undo the plan. Think of it like Obamacare, but on steroids. Everyone, including a Republican president and a Republican Congress, tried to unravel Obamacare, but they couldn't do it. The structure is virtually permanent. The same is true of this plan for Ukraine. So what is the likelihood that in the next few months we are involved in a nuclear war with Russia? Colonel Tony Schaefer says 80%. And he agrees with Tucker on this. And he says we are headed for a nuclear war with Mother Russia.
Do you share Tucker's view on it?
The answer is it's very likely. I put it at the 80% likelihood. Vladimir Putin, who is not bluffing, he is doing what he believes is necessary to protect the Russian Empire, the Russian Republic. It is what it is. And George, the West, England and the United States in particular, don't seem to be listening to him. He's been very clear about what he's trying to achieve.
Well, Russia is not bluffing. They've now put their nuclear arsenal on the highest alert possible for the first time ever. Quoting now, the nuclear...
And Putin just said Russia has the strongest force in planet Earth today. I think, is it today he said it, or I think a few days ago, they had like an 80-year anniversary, something like that. And Putin is telling you that we have it, we're ready. And even Americans know this. I think Tucker Carlson also said it, that America is not ready to fight Russia. Military-wise, Russia has the technology, Russia has the strategy. If you talk about allies, they have allies like China. So, like, are you ready to actually do this, America? This should not even be a thing to talk about, to discuss right now. We have so much other things to talk about. People are living in poverty. People need housing. 61% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. How about you fix that? How about we fix that?
Nuclear-capable Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile system was previously touted by President Putin as being capable of hitting any target on Earth, and is widely believed to be by far the longest-range missile in Russia's arsenal. And it's been nicknamed by NATO the Satan II. Nice name, Satan II. The timing of all of this is on purpose, of course. Putin is not bluffing. This warhead can wipe out a country the size of France. Just one rocket, and it can't be shot down. Putin says, quote, the new complex has the highest tactical and technical characteristics and is capable of overcoming all modern means of anti-missile defense. It has no analogs in the world and won't have for a long time to come. In other words, nothing can stop it and nothing can come close. Oh, good. So why don't we keep poking the bear, President Biden? The reason the United States is so desperate, though, is because the U.S. economy and the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar, which of course is losing favor around the world to settle oil transactions as the world's reserve currency. It's slipping away beneath their feet right now. There's no better indicator of this than in Africa over the past few weeks. We've seen 4 different military coups ousting their leaders who have been in bed with Western countries for decades.
Another African leader toppled by the army. Whose turn will it be next?
The United States and France have been stealing Africa's resources for decades, keeping these countries in a permanent state of poverty. We've been stealing their manganese, their gold, their silver, their uranium, their lithium, their oil. These African countries are saying enough is enough.
What people want is to gain back their wealth, back their uranium, their gold, their iron, their phosphate, their oil, their gas. And this scares the West.
I mean, look at Niger, which told the French to get out of our country, stop stealing our resources. And the French got so pissed this week that they decided to smash all of the trucks that they had there at their mines. So we're going to leave. Yeah, fine, we'll leave all the mines alone, but we're going to smash all the trucks on the way out. Can you believe these guys?
Yes,
and then last week, the country of Gabon did the same thing. France and the United States are in a panic mode right now. Victoria.
People are speculating Nigeria is going to be next. I don't know why people are saying that. I mean, I know low-key, but let me know what you think when you hear somebody say Nigeria is going to be next. People are saying between Nigeria, Cameroon, and Togo, but priority, Nigeria.
Newland from the United States went to Africa in a panic mode. And according to the Gray Zone, people who attended the meetings had never seen her so desperate. Why? Why is she so desperate? Because Vladimir Putin just welcomed these African nations into a new friendship, and so did China, where they can keep their own minerals, they can keep their own sovereignty, make partnerships that benefit those countries. Oh, they know they're needling the West. The West can't let this happen. They can't let Russia and China create these friendships and these partnerships. And today, Moscow is warning NATO, back off or else. Russia's UN envoy, Dmitry Polyansky, says NATO's involvement in Ukraine has created a big risk of a direct clash between Russia and the West. He also said something very interesting. He said they've been hearing radio messages and transmissions that a number of NATO members, generals, and soldiers have been killed in Ukraine. So something really fishy is going on, guys. Why is NATO leaking information about the deaths of their generals and soldiers being killed in fighting with Russia? They're not even supposed to be there. They know Russia is listening. They know this information is getting out. You don't do that unless you want to use it for some big purpose. Something big is happening, and I'm really scared as to what comes next. So get ready. That's the news update part of today's video. Now I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is tied directly to this global demand.
Okay, so I think we can end that one right there. Very concerning updates. Why would anybody want a war right now? We have a lot of other things. I feel like we just sit down and think, we need to create more problems for ourselves. I mean, we have a lot, but these are not new problems. People are probably used to poverty and other people starving to death that they think, oh, that's a boring problem. Let's go look for nuclear wars. Why are you doing this? Like the nuclear weapons the world have right now, if every country was to fight, I don't think there's gonna be any human left. It's unlikely. Yeah, there are rumors Russia has about 3,600, America has 1,400. We don't know what North Korea has, China, African nations. Uganda just recently showed theirs. So imagine all of this coming to collide. Why are we doing this? Big problems like 61% of Americans living from paycheck to paycheck. Nobody's concerned about fixing that or talking about that. 500,000 people already dead in... It's not even considered a war yet. I mean, they say it's a war, but people say precisely it's a military operation. But 500,000 people are dead already. But yet some people still choose to fuel that agenda. Why would you want to fuel an agenda like that? Shouldn't you try to bring peace? 2.5 or 2 million people have permanent disabilities from this. I'm seeing videos on TikTok. They are sending or calling for Ukrainians outside of Ukraine to come back and fight. If you're Ukrainian, would you go? It's concerning. Yeah, let's focus on what actually matters. Let's focus on that. Get people to eat, give people housing, give people jobs. Let's get along, have fun, grow, live our lives. Don't stress yourself. If you're trying to die, don't worry. Eventually you'll get there. So don't stress yourself about dying right now. Let's live and enjoy life. Anyways, this is the end of this video. Smash the like button. I'm trying to keep my cool, but it's really my heart. My voice is even changing. But this is the end of this video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.